allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Phyllis. Mrs. Kraus.
Take notice that adequate notice of this meeting has been provided in accordance with NJSA 10:4-8 and NJSA 10:4-10 as follows. A notice of the meeting was prominently posted on the bulletin board at the municipal building located at 225 Main Street, Little Falls, New Jersey on January 2nd, 2018. A copy of notice was mailed to the North Jersey Herald and News and the Record on the same date. Additionally, a copy of the notice was filed in the office of the Township Clerk on said date.
Mrs. Kraus, please call the roll.
Councilmember Coordinator?
Present.
Councilmember Lees?
Here.
Councilmember Sieber,
Present.
Councilmember Vanchieri?
Present.
Council President Scoba.
Present. Can I have a motion and a second to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Mrs. Kraus, please call the roll.
Councilmember Coordinator?
Yes.
Councilmember Lees?
Yes.
Councilmember Sieber,
Yes.
Councilmember Vanchieri?
Yes.
Council President Scoba.
Yes. Welcome, everyone. This evening, it's Councilwoman's Tanya Sieber's birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Birthday.
Just correction, it's actually the anniversary of my 29th birthday.
The mayor was going to pop out of a cake, but we were concerned there wasn't going to be much left of it after he was going to pop out of it.
We were concerned about the size of the cake.
Hopefully, the doors at the library will be coming soon. The automatic doors, we're hoping to get that done. Domestic violence is going to, their main program this year is going to be having the program in the schools, and the program will be called Healthy and Unhealthy Relationships. Mayor, I know we have a lot always going on in this town, especially this year, and on behalf of the council, we hope you entertain having a mayor's forum with the community. That's, as you know, these meetings are very strict with protocol, and maybe you can entertain having a mayor's forum that is more relaxed with residents asking questions of you and of the town's agenda going forward. Councilman Vanchieri.
Let's have a couple quick items. So next Monday, July 30th, the Transportation Committee is going to get together again for our monthly meeting, and we're going to have Corporal Mancato there. I spoke with him earlier today, and he's pulling together, based on a discussion that we had with Council President Scoba, the mayor, our BA, as well as Chief Post, and Phil, our DPW superintendent, the list of streets where there's some signage issues, where we need to replace, existing ones, or work to figure out which new signs need to be added, whether it's through an ordinance or just, working with DPW. He's also provided an update, too, that based on the last meeting and with some concerns with woods, in particular, when one of the residents came here, he got another complaint with that. So he's going to work with the police department to monitor that street as well as a couple other streets, just from some resident concerns about possible speeding. So we're going to meet next week. Hopefully we'll have some more updates, but we're looking forward to getting that report to everyone so that we can start addressing some of the items that the committee's brought to the table. That's it for me.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Lees.
Just like to talk about the Little Falls Historical Society. I talk about something that has been a part of this community for a long time, beginning with Mr. Swisher. As everybody knows, he passed away, and I worked with him a number of years ago, taking all the historical things, filing, and putting all that together. So right now, there's a committee of people, and they're offered to other people, the Little Falls Historical Society, working at a civic center, and the president of that is Mr. John Vettery. And there are people working in it. The addition to it would be that every month there would be an article coming out on the history of the town. I'm showing you, you can't see it from here. The first one has come out about historical parts of Little Falls, showing pictures of what it used to look like and what's there now. And we're looking for additional people, if they're interested, to be a part of this, and I think it's a very good thing to do. I have some copies here of forms to fill out if you're interested. See me at the end. I may not have enough. I'll bring it the next meeting. If you want to sign up for it, you can. So I think it's something that will be very useful for us. Thank you.
Councilwoman Coordinator.
Yes, thank you. I want to thank Councilman Lees for talking about the Historical Society. If you had gone to our Township and County Art Walk and saw the fabulous presentation that the Historical Society made, and it was one of the highlight features of our art walk, and it was really wonderful, showing just what a wonderful, rich history this town has, and we really need to talk about it more and educate it more, and especially as we have a lot of new residents moving into town, it would be great that they know and understand our great history. So thank you for that, Councilman Lees. I just really have one comment. I, of course, go to the ABC concerts because, you know, I love music, I love to dance, everybody there is great. One of the things I just wanted to call out was that our CERT members, thank you, Sergeant Gianduso, have been coming every concert, there to help make sure everybody stays safe, nobody gets sick, nobody has any issues, and it's really been wonderful, and I appreciate, because, you know, they're all volunteers, and actually, not last week, but the week before, someone actually had an episode, they thought they were having a heart attack. CERT member went into action right away. The police were there, EMS was there. Luckily, she was having an asthma attack, and they were able to help her. And the concert kept going on because people didn't realize what was happening, and she was helped. So I just wanted to give a shout out to CERT members. We have a lot of volunteers in town that don't get thanked enough, so I just want to make a point of that, and that's all I have.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilwoman Seaver?
Thank you. So, again, thank you very much for the birthday well wishes. It's not every day that you actually get to sit up here on your actual birthday and celebrate, so. Just one quick thing, just as a reminder that we do have National Night Out coming up in 2 weeks on August 7th, so we do hope to see everybody there along Walnut Street, right by the train station, so we hope to see you there. That's it. Thank you.
Mayor Belford D'Amiano?
Thank you, Council President. I didn't have much of a report this evening, but in response to your comments about a former, I guess, a town hall type of a meeting, I'd absolutely be interested in doing that. You're right, these meetings are very sort of stringent and by the book, and we stay in line here, where I think we lack the ability, or I lack the ability, to really converse with residents and answer specific questions. So I'd certainly be open to that. I'd be happy to do one within the next month or two. Maybe by the next meeting we can, I'd be able to announce a date for that for the summer, maybe do another one in the fall if that's something, because I know a lot of people will be away over various weeks of the summer. But I'd certainly be willing to do that. We might be able to use one of our, the Civic Center, or one of our buildings here in town to answer any questions that people may have. But yeah, absolutely, I'd be willing and interested in doing that to, again, converse with our residents here.
Well, thank you, Mayor, on behalf of the council for taking that initiative on.
Mayor, did you get one of these? Yep. You did? Yep. All right.
Councilor Wenzel?
No report.
Have a motion and a second to open the meeting to the public for agenda items only.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
You have that, Mrs. Kraus? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed to the motion signify by saying nay. Motion carries. Mrs. Kraus?
Anyone wishing to address the Township Council may do so through the Council President. Please give your name and address for the record. Comments are to be limited to 3 minutes. However, if appropriate, you may be granted additional time in the sole discretion of the Council President.
The floor is open.
I had asked.
Sir, your, the address on the number?
3. It's only two houses there, the rest are knocked down. I had asked last meeting on the information of how many people, did we get that report, how many summons were actually issued for this, the dog, the ordinance 1329 on the amendment. I had asked for information of how many people had received summonses. Is that available tonight?
We don't.
You had
Mayor,
said that wouldn't be
yeah,
available
okay.
for this meeting, for the reading, for the adoption of this ordinance.
Yeah, there were actually 0 tickets that were issued by the police department. But again, it was the number of calls, I think, in recent months that prompted review of this ordinance, and in reading it, it was my recommendation that the council, I guess, give a little bit more authority to the police in deciding, or I guess, kind of instructing the police as to when these things are permissible or not, rather than leaving it open-ended.
No, I'm in favor, you know, especially with the afternoon, you're outside, you're training your dog, and first month or two, it might be barking, but good job, thanks.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to come up? Seeing no one else come forward, can I have a motion and a second to close the public comment?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed to the motion signify by saying nay. Motion carries. Can I have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda? We are going to take out Resolution B for a separate vote.
So moved.
I'm sorry. Yeah, sure. I'm sorry. Can I have a second to that?
Second.
Mrs. Kraus, call the roll.
Councilmember Coordinator?
Yes.
Councilmember Lees?
Yes.
Councilmember Sieber,
Yes.
Councilmember Vanchery?
Yes.
Council President Scoba?
Yes. Resolution B, resolution authorizing the submission of a grant application to the New Jersey NJDOT with Transportation Alternative Set-Aside Program. Mayor, would you like to explain this?
Sure, Council President. As you know, we tried to include in our workshop meetings all of the items that will be addressed at the upcoming regular meeting. Unfortunately, timing becomes an issue for us sometimes. Within the past week and a half, we were advised by our grant writers, Millennium, that there was a TAP grant. TAP stands for Transportation Alternative Set-Aside Program. There was a TAP grant that they were made aware of that was available in the amount of $150,000, which can be allocated and used towards a downtown streetscape improvement. Streetscapes, as we've discussed at length here over the past couple of years, are something that I know myself, and I know that this council has indicated you're interested in pursuing and utilizing some of our local grant funds to make improvements to our downtown area, our town center, the curbs, the sidewalks, et cetera, to make it a little bit more pedestrian friendly. This TAP grant became available, or we were made aware of it in the past week and a half. It is, again, for hopefully $150,000 is what we'll be seeking to make improvements to our streetscape in our downtown area. These, of course, are funds that, I will tell you, in the past, the municipality has not been very successful in securing TAP funds. They are funds that are very competitive. They are also funds that we, until recently, were unaware that unless you are willing to couple some local dollars and local DOT funds towards, they're unlikely to give you an amount without you having some sort of local skin in the game, for lack of a better term. This year, I know the council has indicated there's interest in utilizing DOT grant funds towards the improvement of our streetscape. Again, this was another one that came up. It is something that we, if or when we secure them, hopefully when, we can then choose exactly what it is that we do with the funds. But right now, again, this is just seeking or authorizing Millennium to write for the grant to hopefully secure us some TAP funds to make our streetscape improvements downtown.
Thank you, Mayor, for the explanation. Does the council have any questions or comments regarding Resolution B?
I just have a
Councilwoman Coordinator?
First of all, I think that is fantastic that we're getting fruit from the hire of the grant company. That's excellent. I'm sure that's not something we would have been able to go after, and we all know that we really haven't gotten our fair share, and they are really making a difference. And I also applaud the fact that you were the grant organization and our government was able to act so quickly to get it before council. I would only ask that we make sure that this is not a precedent that is set, and that we always go back to the natural order of business, so that something like this would be presented at a workshop first.
Are there any other questions or comments? Can I have a motion and a second to approve Resolution B?
So moved.
A second?
Second.
Mrs. Kraus, call the roll.
Councilmember Coordinator?
Yes.
Councilmember Lees?
Yes.
Councilmember Sieber,
Yes.
Councilmember Vanchery?
Yes.
Council President Scoba?
Yes. Mrs. Kraus, please read ordinance 1329.
Introduction of ordinance number 1329, an ordinance entitled Ordinance of the Township Council of the Township of Little Falls in the County of Passaic, State of New Jersey, amending the Township Code, Chapter 19, Animals, with a second reading and public hearing scheduled for August 27, 2018.
Mrs. Kraus, please call the roll. I need a motion and a second, right? I'm sorry. Always jumping here. Have a motion to approve this ordinance 1329? To introduce.
So moved.
Second? Now you could call the roll, Mrs. Kraus.
Councilmember Coordinator?
Yes.
Councilmember Lees?
Yes.
Councilmember Sieber,
Yes.
Councilmember Vanchery?
Yes.
Council President Scoba.
Yes. Can I have a motion and a second to open to public comment for general matters only?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed to the motion signify by saying nay. Motion carries. Mrs. Kraus?
Anyone wishing to address the Township Council may do so through the Council President. Please give your name and address for the record. Comments are to be limited to 3 minutes. However, if appropriate, you may be granted additional time in the sole discretion of the Council President.
The floor is open.
Arnold Karutkin, 181 Long Hill Road. I have a question, even though it was an agenda item. I thought that when discussing Resolution B, which I think is a terrific thing to pursue, the mayor said that the town wouldn't have to come up with matching money, but yet there's a phrase that says, whereas the Township of Little Falls will provide matching funding in the amount of $, towards the proposed project. Is there any limit as to what that $, could be?
Right, so you're wondering if it's a $3 million grant, are we going to come up with $3 million? Right.
Or half?
Right. So, Mayor, would you like to comment?
Sure, Council President. The reason it's there is because, first and foremost, we don't know what the grant award hopefully will be. The maximum amount is $150,000. We are permitted to also use other grant monies, so hopefully our next year's DOT grant can be utilized. That's the local skin in the game that I was referring to. But it is something, again, that, so yes, the reason it is blank is because those matching funds are unknown, and where it will come from is also unknown.
But it wouldn't come from property tax revenue?
No, that is not the intent here for, to apply local property taxes towards matching this particular grant.
Thank you.
You're welcome. The floor is open.
Bob Dombrowski. I have a question about about a year or two ago, a couple meetings actually. I requested that somebody reach out to the county regarding that crosswalk, the new crosswalk that's put up at Arlington and Main Street. They relocated that crosswalk after we did work on the railroad tracks. You know, maybe to put the pedestrian yield signs, because the way they have the crosswalk across Main Street, it runs diagonal, and it comes in between two driveways, the Holy Angels exit and the driveway for that shopping center where the laundromat is. And then you have Arlington comes out there with that stop sign. It just acts as a suggestion for the motorist. I mean, it's dangerous getting through there. And it brings me up to another question. Phil had actually brought this up last week. I know we have resolutions, ordinances with new buildings. They pay sewage fee, tying fees, and whatnot. And what concerns me is the new project that's going up on Muller. You know, all that water does go into our pump stations. Was there anything, do we have any ordinance where any additional storm drains or anything would go into, you know, into our pump stations? You know, because to me, I get it, ratables, money, you know, that does flood. It did flood. It flooded in '84. It flooded during Irene, that creek that runs through there. We're building, you know, we're building where it has flood. Maybe not, they might not flood, they still got to move the cars. The cars, we're still putting people in harm's way. You know, I go online, you know, I see, don't make mistakes. You know, we got pictures from 1936, the old being flooded, but yet we built William Street, Lewis Street Parkway, and so on and so on. And there was, and I think that's it. And I just want to commend Phil and everybody for getting involved and putting all them beautiful trees, you know, all them empty lots. That was always my pet peeve. Did a great job. You should be commended and proud. Thanks.
Thank you for your comments. Seeing no, let's come forward. Can I have a motion and a second to close to the public?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Can I have a motion and a second to adjourn this meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. This meeting is now closed.
Thank you.
I didn't get an answer whether we have an ordinance for these extra storm drains going through our pumps. Is there, do we require?